Coach, you've obviously gotten the sample size of calling the defense and managing games. How much has that helped you maybe in your future decision of whether you'll continue to call defense long term going into the offseason and everything?
You know, looking ahead at the 2025 season, some things we'll do there. My main focus has been on the Navy this week. Going to want to know, and I owe it to the men in our locker room, to our program, to make sure we're all their focus is right now. Obviously, we'll do some things, next week, kind of looking for the future. But I do think it's a lot of hats to wear as far as calling a defense, being a head coach, running a position room. So I might try to relieve some of those in the future. But we'll worry about that stuff next week. Right now, it's about Navy. It's about winning the day, and before we move forward with that.
Coach, I want to ask you, as far as recruiting is concerned, since the interim tag is off, how much does it help that you were already here and now that you're the head coach?
Not only for recruiting, but for retention of our players. And that's, most important is making sure that our guys understand what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and they feel comfortable with, who's leading this thing, and that our staff's staying in place. So they feel, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, you want to feel a comfort level, and they're certainly feeling that. But to our recruits that's committed, and to those guys, now it's certainly a sigh of relief for those young men. And, we're already hitting the ground of, hey, how we're going to attack this thing and how we're going to add pieces to it for the future.
Congrats, Coach. And you have to adapt as a defensive coach, make adjustments. How about the grand scheme of things with the way college football and college sports have changed? How much have you had to adapt? A lot of coaches have gotten burned out by it. You seem more fired up than ever. So with all the changes, how have you maintained your energy for what you do?
Thanks, Cliff. That's just got to be you as far as your energy. And that's every day I come in the building. You got to have that positive mindset, that positive energy. Me and John talked about it early on. It would have been easy for me to come in the building certain times and oh man, this is hard, this is tough. But you can say the same thing about the portal. You can say the same thing about NIL, whatever you want to do. The landscape of college athletics is forever changing. It's going to be different a year from now than it is today. But if we want to be successful, which we do, we want to win football games, we got to get in front of this thing. We got to stay on the cutting edge of it and give ourselves a chance to win ball games. Whether it's NIL, revenue sharing, whatever that may be in the future, we got to make sure we're staying on top and give ourselves a chance to be successful. One thing, while Malcolm's finding this question here, thank you to our senior leadership team, JJ McLam, Ryan Robinson, Alex, everybody, and all that you do. Thank you not for just the last 5 weeks, but for the last 5 years. And I look forward to working with you guys as a team. I think I left that out earlier, so I'll go back and make sure I don't skip that, so I apologize.
Coach, I know you say you don't have much time to scroll on social media, but what did it mean when you found out that current players as well as past players who had played under you were out there publicly endorsing you as the next head coach of the Pirates before the decision was officially made?
I'll be honest, I ain't had much time to be on social media. I've said it before, the young men in this program, the young men that came before them in this program have been awesome, and nothing but love for them. And I tell them every day, it used to be as a man, it used to be somebody look at you if you said, hey, I love you. But I think it's important we look everybody in the eye and say, I love you, especially in our locker room, and we do. And it's not just said, it's meant. And so for those guys to be out there doing that, that's awesome. I appreciate that, and just so proud of them.
Okay, we're done. Thank you very much, Coach. Media, we will have